is cooling off a bit in the desert. I guess we're getting ready for Chicago weather as we'll have our final Cactus League telecast today from Sloan Park. It's the Oakland A's and the Chicago Cubs in spring training baseball on CSN is presented by Canals Auto Park. Great to have you with us. We've got long sleeves on today. Jim DeShays and Len Casper. It's a battle of opening day starters. Sonny Gray will go for the A's. Jake Arrieta, his final tune-up for the Cubs.
Yeah, good news out of the Cubs camp the other day when Jake Arrieta got thumbs up to make that opening day start. So this will be his final start of spring training. Chris Bosio said he's going to try to push him up around 100 pitches here today. The A's hitters will have to deal with the National League Cy Young Award winner last year. Fastball, curve, slider change, all plus pitches for Mr. Arrieta. So good news, the blister has calmed down. He's good to go. And he had one heck of a year last year, did he not? A 22-game winner, Cy Young Award winner. 177 ERA, on and on you go. He allowed just 10 home runs last year and 229 innings of work.
So he can't really top last year. I guess nobody's really expecting him to, though, right?
Well, if he does, we've got a heck of a story. Yeah, it would be very difficult. But, you know, ever since he's joined the Cubs rotation, he's been lights out midway through 2013 when they acquired him. He's won 33 games with a low ERA since then.
We have roster news as well. The roster is essentially set, and we'll tell you about a DL move the Cubs are going to make as well. So we have the A's and the Cubs coming up. Another big crowd expected here in Mesa, Arizona. A's and Cubs next.
Great things start in garages. Like the start of your perfect Honda collection with great deals during the Honda Dream Garage sales event.
Including the all-new Honda Civic. The best-selling car in its class now has a redesigned exterior.
Nice wheels. Care to upgrade?
Yeah! Oh, hey, yes, I do! Whoa. Hurry in. You've got a garage to fill. The Honda Dream Garage sales event has great deals on the all-new Civic. Now at your Honda dealer.
Here's a pass for Zetterberg. He scores!
The Red Wings live where you do. The Blackhawks live where you do. When you have NHL Center Ice, you can follow your favorite teams and players no matter where you live. With up to 40 out-of-market games a week, it's like having a season ticket to the NHL from the comfort of your home. The Penguins live where you do. NHL Center Ice. The game lives where you do. For the lowest price of the season, call 1-800-GET-SPORTS.
Things break all the time, and glue never works. What you need is Laser Bond USA, the amazing liquid plastic that fixes virtually anything in as little as 3 seconds. Laser Bond is not a glue, but a unique liquid plastic that only hardens with the UV light. Now fill in plumbing leaks in 3 seconds or less. Instantly repair kids' toys and keep playtime flying. The magic of powerful liquid plastic that hardens under ultraviolet light. The best part, the adhesive is made in the USA.
Wow, that is fast.
It bends, it's flexible.
If you mess up applying, just wipe clean. No sticky residue. Call now to get Laser Bond USA for just $19.99 and receive this protective carry case free. But wait, we're going to double the offer absolutely free and ship your order free. Call now.
Call 1-800-284-2970 to get your Laser Bond USA. Call now or go to laserbondusa.com. So call 1-800-284-2970. Call now.
Coach have in mind this morning? What do we got there?
I'm not sure what he's going for there. He's got a little Lone Ranger going on, but he's rocking the Cubs house coat as well. Anthony Rizzo did a little work on the keyboard as well this morning. The Lone Stranger.
Well, this is the final tune-up, and after a bullpen session on a Sunday, Jake said, I'm fine. Everything looked good. So this will be his final game before we get going in the regular season Monday night. And the Angels have announced it will be right-hander Garrett Richards to face Arrieta.
Well, that will be an outstanding matchup, and this one today as well with Sonny Gray working for the A's. We had some fun here Sunday as the Bees invaded Sloan Park.
Jason Hayward was stung multiple times I think he had a couple of bees actually fly into his mouth.
Yeah, he's a better man than I would have just run off the field.
And that's the bullpen coach, Lester Strode's chair. And they hung out there for pretty much the remainder of the game. So the Cubs relievers went over to the other bullpen. And all is calm today.
The Bees have moved on, apparently. Well, long sleeve shirt day here today. You see some folks down there with windbreakers on. Highs expected to reach the upper 60s and no more. Which is actually kind of a break, right? You're out here in the desert. It's been hot. Get a little cooler weather.
And another American League West opponent the Cubs will face a little later in the regular season. All the Western teams except for the Houston Astros train here in Arizona. And the Cubs will head to Oakland in early August for a 3-game weekend set at the Coliseum. So tomorrow the Rockies are here, off to Vegas, then Anaheim, and we'll get this thing going. We'll talk with Patrick Mooney in the second, our Cubs insider. The Cubs have set their roster just less than a week before opening night. So kind of a newsy day here in Mesa. Let's get Bob Melvin's Oakland Athletics starting lineup. Switch hitting speedster Billy Burns is in center, hitting .409 on the spring. Marcus Semien is at short. Ex-Cub Chris Coughlin's going to play second. Put up really good numbers last year. Butler's the DH. Mark Canha is at first. Andrew Lambeau is in left. Josh Fegley may see a lot of time early because the White Sox might have 4 lefties starting against them. Matt Chapman, one of their top prospects, is at third. Matt Olson is in right.
Cubs defensively this afternoon will feature an outfield of Kyle Schwarber, Jason Hayward, and the speedy Matt Caesar in right. Third to first will go Tommy La Stella, Addison Russell, Ben Zobrist, Anthony Rizzo. Miguel Montero will be behind the plate. And on the mound is Jake Arrieta. He's made 3 starts so far this spring. Was going along nicely until the blister issue got him in that start against the Giants. That's what has really inflated that ERA. Had a side session the other day. Felt very good. I was chatting with Chris Bosio, as I mentioned earlier today. He said he's going to try to push him, try to get up to around 100 pitches. Typically, this final start of spring training, you back off a little bit. It's the second to last start where you really get extended, but he did not have that opportunity because of the blister. So that will come here today. And that's fine. He'll have an extra day before that opening day's start as well.
Veteran Dana DeMuth is back at the plate. Doug Eddings, Adam Hammery, and Anthony Johnson on the bases. So it is a switch hitting Burns. And a sinker misses low and outside to get us started. Now 2-0. Calm conditions, 63 degrees.
I'll just channel one here. Nice adjustment after missing away a couple of times. Burns a speed guy, not a lot of power.
And that'll get out of play. You know what today feels like? Just kind of with the bricks behind home plate. I'm thinking Wrigley Field on April 7th.
I was thinking more like June 15th.
I'm being hopeful.
Have we checked the long range forecast yet? It might be available.
I have not.
I got nothing better to do. Whoop.
Full count, 3-2. Burns stole 26 bases in 125 games last year at .294.
I spewed a number in our open on Jake, and I may not have been accurate with it. So to set the record clear, since joining the Cubs rotation, he's made 67 starts, 36-13 with a 2.26 ERA. So obviously big year last year, but it's hard to characterize that as a breakout year, which kind of implies that it came out of nowhere. The year before, he was really good as well.
Yeah. It was not a given that he was going to win the Cy Young. The competition was pretty stiff. Zach Greinke won the ERA title. Clayton Kershaw won the strikeout title. But in the end, most voters agreed it was Arrieta. Swing and a miss as he strikes out Burns.
He probably just got Billy Burns' vote. Watch this thing. Watch this hummingbird. Now you see it, now you don't. Tight rotation.
Well, Marcus Semien, he led the majors with 35 errors last year, but has really clicked with Ron Washington, who's back with the A's as their third base and infield coach. He joined the club in the middle of last year, so they're hoping the errors go down. They like the offensive potential. There's Wash. A's have had a pretty sloppy spring defensively. 41 errors so far in 27 games.
And Ron Washington has earned a reputation over the years as being one of the better infield instructors in the game. Remember, Eric Chavez gave him a gold glove after working with him in Oakland.
High pop fly. And you might have been able to hear Jason Hayward say, "I got it." And he's got it. And a nice hand for the former Cub Chris Coughlin, who was traded after guys had already reported to camp. That opened the door for the Dexter Fowler re-signing. And the Cubs in return received right-hander Aaron Brooks. Chris really has resurrected his major league career. His last 2 years with the Cubs had a lot of injury issues, knee problems after his time with the Marlins.
In there at second base today. He played a little second base for the Cubs and obviously plays the outfield as well, and he'll probably do the same thing with the A's.
Yeah, he kind of fits the profile of a Billy Beane type position player. Can play multiple positions. Can use them in a platoon if you'd like. And he draws the walk. Good on base skills. Here comes Billy Butler, the DH.
A's acquired Coughlin. They've picked up Jed Lowry, who's been ping-ponging between Houston and Oakland. He's back in an A's uniform. Chris Davis, the outfielder from the Brewers, is now in Oakland A. They've signed some veteran guys. They've essentially retooled their bullpen. They were 68 and 94 last year, finishing in last place after 3 consecutive postseason appearances.
Yeah, they had a real tough time in one-run decisions. It was just an absolute killer. 19 and 35 in one-run games.
Whoa.
2-0. We do not have a stadium velocity reading here. looks like Jake is throwing hard today, and Montero wants to have a quick chat with him.
Yeah, he might be feeling a little fresh after that short outing last time. Blister he had was on his thumb. Some guys, when they pitch, they kind of tuck their thumb under the ball. He does not. So that seam was riding right on the top of his thumb, the inside part. That's where it got rubbed raw.
Coughlin on the move, and he is safe. Pitch was a strike. Now, Jake, we never talked about it because he never gave up any runs, but guys do steal bases against him. I think we gave you the list of the top guys. There are a lot of really good pitchers who give up stolen bases. John Lester, we talked a lot about, but yeah, Jake.
And Jake fits the profile of a guy who's usually vulnerable to the stolen base. Big right-handed power guy. He doesn't want to sacrifice his delivery by, trying to be too quick to home plate.
A couple years ago, 6 in one game. There's a strike, 3-2. Mark Canha is on deck. And that'll score a run. Coughlin around, and he will cross the plate. Butler with a double, and it's 1-0 Oakland.
Two-out walk in advance of the Butler double, and the A's are on the board. That's center cut fastball. And Butler's been a good, solid big league hitter for a while now.
There's Canha, coming off his rookie season, 16 homers in 124 games. Ball one. And essentially, last year was a Rule 5 guy. Rockies took him from the Marlins and then traded him to Oakland. Three for 5, 4 RBIs, 2 doubles in his major league debut. A high pitch first inning, 25 and counting for Arrieta. Trademark flat build cap. Right out of the box. Another ball hit hard and foul. I could not do that.
The flat brim look?
I cannot do it. No. Can't do it. That's Jake's thing. He likes it.
The reliever for the Nationals years ago, Cordero, right?
Cordero did it.
He might have been the. There'll be a documentary on him someday. First ever flat brimmer.
Might he request a special helmet at some point?
I think the Brooks Robinson had the helmet with the small brim. Remember that one?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, we've made it through 2 outs in the first before we've gotten into brims.
Matt Caesar, he'll be on that opening day roster. He hauls it in. 2-out walk, a steal, a double, and the A's get on the board with the Cubs coming up.
As you and your car become one, and your Canals BMW driving experience begins. We live and breathe BMW, promising you a BMW selection, competitive pricing, and a shopping experience second to none. And it's a total gas, even when it's electric. Welcome to Canals BMW. Your test drive is departing shortly. Route 41, Lake Bluff. CanalsBMW.com.
To win a national championship once is a big deal. Binny's Beverage Depot has won it 3 times as National Retailer of the Year for wine, spirits, and beer. Low prices, a gigantic selection, and super service. If you can't find it at Binny's, it's probably not worth drinking.
Now the Cubs are starting lineup. They've been scoring runs, 17 combined the last 2 days. Schwarber, Hayward, and Zobrist at the top. Anthony Rizzo has been hot as of late. La Stella, Montero will also occupy the middle. Russell, Caesar, Arrieta, 7, 8, 9.
A's defensively this afternoon have Lambeau, Burns, and Olsen across the outfield. Chapman, Simeon, Coghlan, Canna on the infield. Fegley will do the catching. They committed the most errors in baseball last year. Len mentioned Simeon leading the way, if leading is the right term, with 35 of those last year. But they're out there in defense of this guy. He needs a good one. Young right-hander Sonny Gray. Look at his spring training numbers. Last season he was an all-star, 14-7 with a 273 earned run average. Not a big guy, but he's got a good arm.
He will make his 3rd consecutive opening day start.
5'10", 5'11". He's got a 4-pitch mix, fastball, curve, slider, and change.
Kyle Schwarber out into deep left center, and it will go! A home run. So he is on the board. That's his first of the spring. I don't think it'll be a frequent occurrence, but it is possible Kyle could be in that leadoff spot on occasion.
The Cubs have any number of candidates in many different ways Joe Madden can go with his lineup, and yeah, Schwarber with those on-base skills, certainly capable of hitting at the top of the order, and he can ambush you too with that long one. Every 14.5 at-bats last year, Kyle Schwarber hit a home run while in the big leagues.
He was the 20th Cub to hit a home run this spring. They've now hit 34 over their last 22 games. 40 total. Hayward has homered in each of his last 2 games, including one that went almost 460 feet at Diablo Stadium in Tempe. JD, he almost hit one into the parking lot. 2 bounces to Coghlan.
I hope he didn't erase my record.
Did you give up the longest?
Well, I don't know. I gave up one to Kevin Mitchell there years ago. One hop to hotel. Like 900 feet.
The Buttes? That's the hotel there, yeah. Former Athletic Ben Zobrist. Ball 1. So Sonny Gray is the third Oakland pitcher to start at least 3 consecutive opening days. Rick Langford and Dave Stewart, the others. Line foul.
Wow. Torch that ball.
You look at Gray and Arrieta and how they start their windup. There's not a lot of extraneous movement, is there?
Yeah, that's. Yeah, you don't want to get off your line too much. You know, you take that little rocker step to build a little momentum, but if you take a real big step, it can kind of throw you out of whack. So just something to get a little rhythm going.
Sonny Gray would describe today, wouldn't it? We had a lot of cloud cover and the sun starting to come through a little bit. And that pitch was elevated, and Zobrist makes him pay with a 1-out single.
This keeps up, Sonny will be blue.
Trying to work Vida in there, but I don't know if I can.
Sonny Douglas Gray, 26 years old, 14-game winner last year, as he was the year before. First-round pick by the A's out of Vanderbilt. Man, it's a factory there, down there, Nashville. That's his hometown, too.
Anthony Rizzo takes a strike. So I guess the White Sox will have a right-hander in that series against the A's next week. Matt Latos will be their number 4. John Danks number 5. When's the last time both Chicago teams opened in California? We'll have to look that up. Cubs and the Angels, White Sox and the A's.
I'm going to go with 1934.
34, even before the Giants and Dodgers.
It was a sneaky thing.
I got you. Okay.
The exhibition game.
Ground ball knocked down by Canna. The throw to second for 1. Relay. Wow, they turned it. So a 3-6-3 double play to end the inning. Schwarber with a leadoff home run. And we're tied at 1 after 1.
CSN Plus. Your Bulls are in for a fight for their playoff lives as they face a pivotal late-season test against the Pacers. Starting at 5:30 and streaming live at csnchicago.com or on the NBC Sports Live Extra app. Brought to you by...
I don't wait for anything. I get what I want when I want it. No exceptions. Steak. That's why I use the Faster mobile app from Fifth Third Bank. That lets me check my balance without logging in. Fish.
We were curious. Could we take the weight out of banking? Now get $200 when you open a Fifth Third Essential Checking account with qualifying activities. Fifth Third Bank, the curious bank.
This is Anthony Rizzo, all-star first baseman for the Chicago Cubs. When he's not playing baseball, he's reading about baseball.
God, he's so good.
When he's not reading about baseball, he's listening to baseball. When he's not listening to baseball,
what's up, boys?
He's watching live baseball.
Jonesy. Ooh, that's deep. Ooh.
And when he's not watching live baseball, he's playing baseball. MLB.com at bat, the #1 app for live baseball.
A's and Cubs tied at 1, second inning, and our Cubs insider Patrick Mooney has joined us. Some news from earlier today regarding the roster. We are 6 days away from opening day, but barring any weird stuff, we know what the 25-man looks like.
Yeah, I thought Madden put it pretty well. It was a Godfather type of day for him. You know, he's packing up the RV, finalizing the roster, getting some of those minor league signings out of the way. So yeah, I think we pretty much know the group that'll be out in Anaheim, as you said, in less than a week.
This is Andrew Lambeau leading off. So Baez starts on the DL with the thumb, correct?
Yeah, and maybe for that first homestand at Wrigley, maybe he'll join the team at that point. But obviously, he just didn't have enough at bats. They want him to play more of the outfield, and I think you see the importance of Ben Zobrist, the fact that he can be a backup shortstop and move all around the diamond.
And the Cesar Ramirez question is resolved as a result. They both make it.
Yeah, both guys out of minor league options. I know the coaching staff, likes Cesar, obviously a real unselfish guy who's kind of willing to do whatever. And Neil Ramirez, we all saw him a couple years ago. The velocity's been down. I mean, Joe admitted, might not come all the way back, but he still thinks, he can be pretty effective, if not, that lights out guy he was in 2014.
I'm still trying to get the Godfather reference.
Where everything kind of came together, where he took care of all his business at once.
That'll kick foul.
I thought there was something about the RV, and that was Godfather, but he got that packed up, so things are all coming together.
His personal business of making sure his stuff was packed up, all of his novelty T-shirts, and that the RV and the hippie van were all taken care of. And that the roster is now pretty much set. He threw all that.
Put a hit out on Tessio.
Yeah.
The other moves were essentially procedural and saved the Cubs a little money. Shane Victorino, Manny Parra, Munenori Kawasaki all were released and then re-signed to minor league deals, right?
Yeah, I think that saves them the $100,000 retention bonus because of their service time. And Kawasaki, I think everyone liked him, not just for his personality, but kind of the fundamental way he can play the game. And I think he's probably an emergency guy they could use. And obviously Victorino, I think he would have been on this opening day roster if he was healthy, but he hasn't shown that yet. And we'll see what if he's willing to go to Iowa and try and come back.
So there were ultimately no big surprises at all. Where we kind of started is where we ended up finishing in terms of what the roster will look like.
Yeah, after all that, all the, who's on the bubble, who's not. Exactly, probably could have written this out almost at Cubs convention, except for the Dexter Fowler signing.
I suppose that the one interesting thing, JD, is 8 guys in the bullpen and only 4 bench players, but that goes back to Patrick's point about Zobrist. Bryant can play the outfield if you need him to.
And the fact that you got some guys that are stretched out and give you multiple innings, and having an extra guy out there helps when you've got starters that you want to protect early in the season. And the other piece of this is, the way the roster looks on opening day, that could be very short-lived. You talk about Baez and how quickly he comes back once he gets a number of at-bats under his belt, get him back on the big league roster, and maybe they will go with one less guy in the bullpen at that point.
Matt Chapman, one of the A's top prospects, will dig in. And a fastball for a strike.
It's always easier for the, when you're sending guys down to minor league camp or sending them out to make that point. Look, hey, the roster changes all the time. But as a player, man, you want to be on that opening day roster. It's always a tough pill to swallow, but that is the reality that, I don't have the numbers in front of me, but how many guys played in the big leagues for the Cubs last year?
I mean, look at last year's opening day roster. No Bryant, no Schwarber, no Russell, no Baez.
Yeah, it can change, and it can change quickly. Baseball is a game of paradoxes, right? And ironies and all that stuff, JD. But going back to a couple of days ago, the AAA bitterness that exists, you can't let it affect your play, because it matters. Once you go down there, you got to be productive, because you want to be that first guy called up.
Yeah, and if you go down and just hang your head and sulk, it's only going to work against you. Can't talk your way out of it. You see it in spring training camps every year, both in Arizona and Florida. You see guys trying to talk their way onto the team through the media. I'm a hard worker. I do this. I struggle in spring, but I'm really good. You hear all those cliches. At the end of the day, you can't talk your way onto the club.
Well, I guess broadcasters can.
Yeah, well,
we're like the only ones.
You can,
right. The 3-2 to Chapman.
Just like if we had to make the club every year.
Oh, man. All right, Patrick, thanks for the time as always. As we continue our Odyssey out west, we'll be in Vegas and then Anaheim for the opener Monday, 1-1.
We try to stay directly within the Fields Auto Group. Fields has a wonderful reputation.
I'm Dan Fields of the Fields Auto Group. We simply treat people the way we want to be treated.
They're as invested in me as a person as I am in them, and that makes a huge difference. It makes me come back.
It includes our free loaners, free car washes, and cafes. It's all part of the Fields Matters program.
And now, during Ram Truck Month and Chrysler's Spring Clearance Event, lease a new 2016 Jeep Patriot Sport 4x2 for only $159 per month for 24 months.
I am never getting married. Never. Guaranteed.
You picked a beautiful ring.
Thank you.
We're never having kids.
Breathe.
A little bit here.
We are never moving to the suburbs. We are never getting one of those. We're never having another kid.
I'm pregnant.
I'm never letting go.
For all the nevers in life, State Farm is there.
During the Lexus Command Performance Sales Event,
Johnson steps up to the line.
There's always cause for celebration.
He got it. Did he ever come?
With extraordinary offers on our most exciting lineup of SUVs ever, including the stylish all-new RX and the dynamic NX. Because thrills like this only happen during the Command Performance Sales Event. Lease the 2016 NX 200 Turbo for $349 a month for 36 months, and we'll make your first month's payment. See your Lexus dealer.
Hey, welcome back. We're scored tied 1-1, bottom of the second. We talked about the similarities between Sonny Gray and Jake Arrieta. Check out the deliveries here. Let's take a look as Arrieta and Gray. Very, very subtle move with that very first little rocker step. Not a whole lot going on there. Just enough to get started before bringing that leg up to the balance point.
I didn't think anybody took a smaller step than Arrieta, but Gray does. Yeah. Well, they both had great success with it. As Tommy LaStella fouls away.
Contrast that with you saw Ross Ollendorf the other day.
Oh yeah,
with the big old-fashioned big step in the, but you know he's just, you know, I think that was a byproduct of just trying to create some extra movement, maybe some deception.
So LaStella grounds out.
Cub fans following the postseason run and an impressive offseason and just a tremendous spring training. There's tremendous excitement leading up to the home opener. Show your support of Cubs baseball from the beginning. April and May offer fans the best availability to get the seats you want. Get your tickets now at Cubs.com.
Catcher Montero. We could have all kinds of fun with the baseball names in terms of moods. Sonny Gray, Vida Blue, Kelly Downs,
Happy Chandler.
Happy Chandler.
Pouty Morgan. Played back in the 40s.
Inside. 2-1.
Left-handed hitters hit just 208 against Sonny Gray last year.
And in and out of the glove. Burns got there and just could not haul it in. So a left-handed hitter gets Gray that time.
A heck of a try by Billy Burns. But no consolation prizes for effort. That is a tremendous effort. But a knock for Montero.
Now former A's farmhand Addison Russell. A's went into go for it mode a couple of summers ago. Acquired Jeff Samardzija and Jason Hamill from the Cubs. And a package that included Russell going the other way. I think the second they made that deal, Billy Beane knew that Addison Russell might be poised for a long career, but at the time you make that deal, if you're the A's, you think, well, if we win the World Series this year, so be it.
Yeah. It was kind of against the grain of what Billy had done. Billy was, more likely to trade veterans for prospects. But as you said, he saw a chance to go for it, and he went for it.
He ended up losing a heartbreaker in the wild card in Kansas City. Burns tracking, and he's got this one. For out number 2. I forgot the obvious one, Joe Madden. Right in front of us. Here's Caesar.
There wasn't anybody named Introspective, was there?
Burns again, and he got a late break on it, and that one will get down, and nobody covering second. So nice job by Caesar as he had 4 A's all surrounding the ball in shallow center, and nobody covering second.
Thing of beauty and tough luck for Gray. A sinking line drive falls out of the glove of Burns for a base hit. Now this little pop-up settles into no man's land out there in shallow center field. Hot pursuit. McKenna had moved into a cutoff position in the middle of the diamond in case there was a throw home, and nobody at second base. I didn't see where Gray went on the play. I don't know if he was covering home, or backing up home, or he would have been an option if not to run out there and keep an eye on second base. Usually on a ball like that as a pitcher, you're too busy begging for someone to catch it to pay attention to your more important responsibilities like backing up and covering bases.
Well said. Hard to root when you're running. Jake, a very good athlete. Well placed. 0-2. Former Cub Felix Dubront will make the A's rotation. Jesse Hahn did not make their club. He was optioned to AAA today. So that's a bit of a surprise in terms of what a lot of people thought going into camp. Ex-Cub Rich Hill will be a part of it as well. Two balls, 2 strikes. And he's run it full.
Trying to paint that outside corner, just didn't want to throw a cookie in there to Arrieta. I think he'd be willing to do that now with Schwarber on deck.
Second and third, 2 outs. Another 3-2 and another foul and no play.
Gray's got good stuff. We saw a fastball at 94. That one was 94 miles an hour. Right around league average in terms of a strikeout rate. Gets a lot of outs on the ground. He's leaning heavily on that heater here so far this afternoon. Arrieta putting up a good fight.
This will be at least a 9-pitch at bat. Sounded like he cracked his bat as he flies out to Lambeau. 1-1 after 2.
Here's a tip. It's worth the trip to emetroford.com. See for yourself how affordable your new Ford will be at emetroford.com. See why Metro Fords are everywhere. Visit emetroford.com today.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by the authority of the Chicago Cubs and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Chicago Cubs. I'm attorney Howard Ankin. If you've been hurt at work or injured in an auto accident, I'd like to be your lawyer. Please call me at 312-600-0000. Ankin Law. Injury law. Made personal.
With NHL Center Ice, you'll never miss out. Catch every and have a front row seat for every moment. With up to 40 out-of-market games a week to choose from, the best of the NHL is right at your fingertips. So you'll be right there when
I can't believe what I'm seeing
happens. NHL Center Ice. The game lives where you do. For the lowest price of the season, call 1-800-GET-SPORTS.
Gerald Hyundai moves you forward with a full line of the most fuel-efficient, affordable cars on the road. And we make it easy to save big on your favorite models. Get 0% financing for 60 months on all models to qualified buyers. Drive home today in a new Gerald Hyundai, all backed by the Gerald exclusive lifetime warranty. Unlimited time, unlimited miles. There's an exciting drive ahead only at Gerald Hyundai. Gerald Hyundai at I-88 and Orchard Road, or visit geraldhyundai.com.
Welcome back. We head to the third. We're knotted up here at 1. Clark's Crew is the official kids club of the Chicago Cubs. Team up with Clark as a member of Clark's Crew and receive kid-specific perks, experiences, and merchandise. Visit Cubs.com/kids. Sign up your young Cubs so they can be part of the fun all season long.
Third inning, Matt Olson, left-handed hitting right fielder. Fastball strike. Josh Reddick will be the A's #1 right fielder. We mentioned Chris Davis. He'll play left. Billy Burns in center. Chris Coughlin will find time out there. Coco Crisp. Canna. They've got a lot of moving parts. Called strike 3.
Olson's got a lot of swing and miss in his game. This time he takes a called third strike. You see the breakdown of pitches for Arrieta. Fastball, slider, curve, and change. And on any given day, any one of those pitches you could argue is his best pitch. Maybe not so much the changeup, but plus heater, Slider curveball combination are great weapons for him. It gives the hitters a lot to think about. There's a great change up there to get started.
One strike on Burns.
It really is the complete package when you look for a starting pitcher in terms of power, durability. Obviously, early in his career in Baltimore, he struggled with control. That's long behind him now.
Schwarber makes the catch for the out.
And take a look at some of the numbers. A 177. Yeah, really struggled at home with an ERA approaching 2. That record 0.75 ERA after the break, after August 1st, 0.41. Hang with them, hitters.
I think the word splits works for Arrieta too, right? He's the Pilates yoga guy.
Mm-hmm.
Thinking you're more of a yogurt guy.
I'm more, as long
yoga guy.
As long as there's some berries in there. The other thing about Jake, he's got this kind of Zen-like quality to him too. He's very calm.
He's supremely confident, but in a very matter-of-fact way. I think it was his first or second start. They said, you look locked in. Are you ready? He goes, yeah, I could have pitched opening day today. Montero will make the catch on the back pedal. 1, 2, 3, third. That's 7 straight now retired by Arrieta.
From the first building block to the last coat of paint, Menards is here to help you build all of your projects with an 11% rebate on everything. Whether you're creating a new kitchen or a backyard getaway, you'll save 11% on all of it. So you can finish your latest project and start planning the next big thing. Get building with an 11% rebate on everything now at Menards.
Save big money at Menards.
For a limited time, you can get a great deal on this Passat.
Wow, it looks really good.
Volkswagen believes safety is very important, so all 11 models come standard with an intelligent crash response system. 7 stability-enhancing systems. And equipment for 2 child seats. For those who take safety seriously, like we do. The Volkswagen Safety in Numbers event is happening now. Hurry in and lease a 2016 Passat S for $189 a month after a $1,250 bonus.
Code red. Code red. We're code red. Come on, laundry room staff.
How bad is it?
Oh, she took a juice box right to the face.
Clear.
Okay, so.
What about backup, Lammy?
This is backup, Lammy. All right, go, 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 go. Get your head right. Don't let her see the fear in your eyes.
Okay.
See the new line of Samsung Active Wash washers at Abt.
Tonight on CSN, 2 huge points are on the line as the Hawks skate into St. Paul and look to exact some revenge on the Wild. Coverage begins at 6:30 with Chevy Blackhawks pregame live on CSN Chicago.
As the playoffs draw closer, the Bulls hit the road to Indy, looking to make up ground on the Pacers in the Eastern Conference standings. Coverage starts tonight at 5:30 with Bulls pregame live, presented by Coors Light on CSN Plus.
Leadoff homer for Schwarber.
$16 in the regular year last year, 5 more in the postseason. There's number 1 of the spring. Peaking at the right time as we get ready to head out of town.
Cubs' versatility isn't just about defensively. It's kind of where in the lineup you can hit Kyle anywhere.
Yeah, and I think there's probably too much is made out of who hits where in the lineup. If you got a bunch of good hitters, you're going to score a lot of runs. You know, and ideally, you like to have on-base guys hitting in front of sluggers. This group has a fair number of both, and a lot of guys who bring both of those assets to the table. Joe's talked about protection. There's a lot of debate in the game about, you know, lineup protection, how much it really matters. I mean, this lineup, it becomes a game of pick your poison for a pitcher. I mean, who are you more comfortable with on any given day? Bryant, Rizzo, Schwarber, Hayward. Montero's dangerous. LaStella gives you a great at-bat.
Schwarber is 2 for 2. I think the protection thing is more about being in front of somebody than behind somebody, because if it's Mike Trout or Bryce Harper, or when Rizzo's really hot, or Bryant, it doesn't matter who's behind those guys. Pitchers are going to be careful.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's if you get guys on base in front of the more dangerous hitters, you're forced to pitch to them, or you know, you risk even more traffic. The best hitters in the game, I don't think you can protect.
They're unprotectable in that regard. Yeah. We were talking about Barry Bonds in 04, the ridiculous numbers he put up. What baseball player who has ever lived would have provided protection for Barry Bonds?
Right.
He had a 600 on base percentage.
Yeah, to me it becomes, you know, valuable late in the game if you decide whether you're going to intentionally walk somebody or not. But yeah, unless Babe Ruth is over there in the on-deck circle,
I don't even think that would have mattered. So Gray and Fegley will have a quick chat. Try to turn it, but really no chance. Here's Zobrist.
So we were having that chat earlier about the flat berm tribe.
Yeah.
And we got a text from our good buddy Mark Grant, and Mud pointed out that Jeffrey Leonard was the first flat bermer. And so I said, I'll believe it. I said, just send me video evidence. And so he did. He texted me a picture of Jeffrey Leonard. And yeah, he's kind of rocking the flat brim. Thanks for the contribution, Bud.
See, Leonard is kind of the Ramones to Chad Cordero's the Sex Pistols.
Okay.
It's the original. They always get forgotten, and it's the next wave that gets all the attention. So you had Cordero on your mind. Two, and he got him. That is the first strikeout for Gray. Rizzo bounced into a double play in the first. He will not do that here in the third because there are already 2 outs. Cubs out hitting the A's 5-1 here early. And that changeup.
It's got some bite to it. He throws it hard. He throws it in the upper 80s, 87, 88 miles an hour. That was 90. Maybe this is a hot gun because I don't think this is a sinker. I think that's his changeup.
You can see the grip.
Some of the scouting world are scared off of smallish pitchers, especially right-handers. But the A's, Tim Hudson wasn't a real big guy. He had a heck of a career.
Roy Oswalt comes to mind. And Hayward on the move will get second without a throw. Pedro.
Yeah, he was pretty good.
Two on Rizzo. We'll try it again.
So I see Jason's wearing the oven mitt out there. Does he do that all the time? I hadn't noticed.
It looks familiar to me. We'll have to ask if there was a previous injury or he's being proactive with it. And he got him. So Gray with the back-to-back strikeouts to end the third. We're in a 1-1 tie. Good pitching matchup today.
March is matchup month at your local Ford store. The reigning champ is favored again. Ford returns as America's best-selling brand. The new Ford Focus is a smart choice over Honda Civic with impressive highway fuel economy, plus available active park assist, next-generation hands-free sync technology, and more. Focus is a winner, just named a Consumer's Digest Best Buy. Now get a new 2016 Focus with 0% financing for 60 months plus $1,000 bonus cash at your local Ford store now.
As long as I can remember, I aimed high. I listened to my coaches, and they guided me. When it came to testing myself, I opted in, not out, because that's how I knew I'd be ready to compete. That's how I knew I'd be ready for this.
Kelly O'Hara steps in front, and the USA scored 2 goals.
By raising standards, aiming high, and testing their skills, kids can achieve great things. Help your child get their game plan for success at bealearninghero.org.
Hi, checking out the RAV4?
Yep, looking for something fun.
Well, with available Sport Tune suspension, you can turn any trip into an awesome adventure.
Yeah! Yeah! Errands.
Aren't they the best?
Right now, get 0% APR financing for 60 months on the all-new 2016 RAV4. Or lease RAV4 for only $209 per month during Toyota's One for Everyone sales event.
Have fun running those errands.
Toyota, let's go places.
Thursday on CSN, it's a rematch of last year's NLCS as Chicago and New York clash in Sin City. Cubs versus Mets, live from Las Vegas, starting at 7 on CSN. Brought to you by Canals Auto Park.
Spring training baseball is presented by Canals Auto Park. Had a couple of nickname ideas the other day. Main ingredient and eggs. In reference to an omelet for Anthony Rizzo. Piano Man might be another one. He is taking piano lessons here during spring training, and Chris Bryant doodling along with him. And eventually Anthony entertained his teammates by playing the first verse or so of about 8 different songs, and then told me later, he goes, I don't know if I was really ready for this. He sounded good.
He was doing a little Adele. Boys were singing along.
Train, Drops of Jupiter. It's really good. Yeah. He was singing too. I don't know in your era if this happened as much. I think more guys probably golfed, but it feels to me like on the road more guys than ever pick up guitars and other musical instruments to occupy their time.
Yeah, we had, you know, once in a great while somebody would play the guitar, but it seems like that's a more common occurrence these days.
How are we going to fit a big piano on the plane?
Get a little mini keyboard.
Oh, okay. Hayward's got it to retire Coughlin. So Marietta has settled in 8 straight, retired since the Butler RBI hit in the first, and here he comes again.
Cubs Spring Training Baseball is live with MLB.com at Bat app. Stay connected all spring with radio broadcasts, video highlights, stats, news, and more. Download MLB.com at Bat, the #1 app for live baseball on your smartphone and tablet.
One and one on Butler. Big scare for the Mets. Matt Harvey had word of a non-baseball related health issue yesterday. He had a blood clot in his bladder. He got infected. I guess his urine was discolored. He was very, very nervous about it, but they say he's fine. So for all you youngsters out there, when you gotta go, go. Without getting too specific, you know what I mean. So he'll start Sunday night in Kansas City.
Edinson Volquez will be the opening day starter for the Royals.
And there's a report going around that the Royals did not forget Noah Syndergaard's up and in pitch on Alcides Escobar in the World Series. So we could have some fireworks in that rematch. Syndergaard will start Game 2, but he will not hit. They'll have the DH in Kansas City.
I'm guessing that's mostly bluster. This guy's making noise.
Another Huge crowd here at Sloan Park. Cubs will wrap up their home schedule tomorrow, averaging 15,045 first 13 dates. And it looks to me like we're right around that again.
Butler putting up a pretty good fight here against Arrieta. He won the battle last time with an RBI double. He hit a fastball into the alley in right center.
And he draws the walk. Going to bring up Canna. Cubs longtime clubhouse manager Tom Otis Hellman recently went back to Chicago and got a look at the new clubhouse, and everybody we talked to is salivating. I can't wait to see it.
Yeah, I'm really anxious to see it.
And the players are excited as well. No more cramped quarters in the friendly confines of the home clubhouse. I think the other thing too, JD, is, you know, there's been a lot of excitement here, but we are a bit removed from Wrigleyville and Chicago because we've been out here for the month, and it's fun to just think about how exciting and festive it will be opening night at Wrigley, you know?
Yeah, coming off last year with the expectations for this year, and opening day is always a celebration. But yeah, I suspect there's going to be a lot of energy in the ballpark and a lot of energy around the ballpark. I looked at the long-range forecast. Rainy in the morning, and then mid-50s for a daytime high is what they're calling for right now.
Take it. 7:05 first pitch. And if all stays in line, it would be John Lester to start the home opener. Not quite sure how the Reds are going to line up, although Raisel Iglesias will be their opening day starter because Anthony DeSclafani is injured.
Homer Bailey won't be ready to start on time.
Two balls, two strikes. Fourth inning, 1-1. Both runs came in the first. You see Arrieta has touched 95 on his fastball.
And we've seen no ill effects from the blister. I mean, his command has not been typical of Arrieta here today, but we haven't seen him checking his thumb or looking down or doing anything to give any indication that that is bothering him.
The two down.
That one actually backed up on him a little bit, but it caught the inside corner, got the job done. Fans that look forward to opening day, it's kind of like the kids at Christmas time. I mean, presents are under the tree, they're chomping at the bit. This final week before opening day.
Well, there's always a tremendous amount of excitement for the Cubs season and for the home opener, but I think it'll be a little more voluminous here in 2016.
It's been months since people have had the opportunity to eat food out of a helmet. Well, that's always a big thrill, too. Whether it's ice cream or nachos.
Knocked down by Montero.
There's a piece on the news here. They do it every year, right? With the new food that's being rolled out at the different ballparks around Major League Baseball. Being that we're in Phoenix, they were talking about Chase Field over there where the Diamondbacks play, and they had a cheeseburger in the shape of a hot dog mixed with jalapenos and something else, and then deep fried.
That's the new thing, huh? Just combine 3 different items.
And deep fry it.
And deep fry it. Butler will stop at second. So 2 on with 2 outs for Fegley, the catcher.
Bacon. There's bacon in there, too.
I'll put bacon on it.
Jake had retired 8 in a row prior to the Butler walk. Now he's got a little bit of a situation here with a couple on and 2 outs. Yeah, see, that slider's been hit or miss for him here today. He hasn't really gotten hurt with it, but his command of it has been a little spotty. Great time to make the adjustment. You kind of don't finish one, you need to leave it up a little bit, come right back with it.
They had a shot at him, and I hope Rizzo's all right. A little collision there. I don't know if Anthony got spiked or what happened.
That's my best guess. Let's take a look. See the call for the high fastball. This is a design play. And Rizzo sneaking in behind the base runner. I didn't get spiked because he went in head first and just got twisted a little bit.
That right leg, fortunately, just a tweak. Two and 2. I was going to say a Lambeau leap to the bag, but that was too easy.
But in a sense, you did.
Full count, 3 and 2. Chapman on deck. Foul tip, strike 3, and that ends the inning. He had to grind through the 4th, but did not allow a run.
Which side is our best side? This one? That one? You know what? Actually, our best side is this one. Our heart. Because only an airline with a heart would give you great deals like this. Now you can fly for as low as $69 one way. Book your low fare now at southwest.com. Low fares, nothing to hide. That's transparency.
All right, Luke Mike's ready. Kill the lights.
Luke Bryan, the Kill the Lights Tour. The two-time CMA Entertainer of the Year. Saturday, August 27th at Wrigley Field. Special guest, Little Big Town. Dustin Lynch and DJ Rock. Pre-sale for City Card members begins Wednesday at 10 a.m. through Thursday at 10 p.m. before the general public on sale Friday at 10 a.m. at Cubs.com/Luke Bryan.
As you and your car become one, and your Canals BMW driving experience begins. We live and breathe BMW, promising you a BMW selection, competitive pricing, and a shopping experience second to none. And it's a total gas, even when it's electric. Welcome to Canals BMW. Your test drive is departing shortly. Route 41, Lake Bluff. CanalsBMW.com.
Spring training baseball on Comcast Sportsnet is presented by Canals Auto Park, Route 41, Lake Bluff.
Some good eats at the ballpark. 1-1 tie. A's and Cubs. Eats and drinks.
I think there has to be a little bit of an adjustment made by the bun industry. Seems to me the dogs and the sausages, the ratio, the buns aren't holding up. I had that problem when my dad was here. He was trying to eat his dog, and his bun couldn't hold it.
Another idea we've got to put in the folder. There you go. I'm not sure what he's eating, but he's loving it.
Got a little soul patch working now. And he's digging it. Check me out.
Tommy La Stella. One and one. Limited time last year with the oblique injury, but when he was healthy, he was a very valuable guy, especially off the bench. Matt Olson with the catch.
Cubs will host the 11th annual Race to Wrigley charity run presented by ATI Physical Therapy. It'll take place Saturday, April 23rd at Wrigley Field. The 5K course runs through the streets of the Lakeview neighborhood and concludes at Wrigley Field. Cubs Charities will donate proceeds to support critical care needs for pediatric patients in Chicago through Advocate Children's Hospital. Sign up at racetowrigley.com.
Montero with a fly ball down the left field line. Long run over for Lambeau, and he can't get it. He was playing way off the line.
Yeah, long off the line, and he didn't get a very good read on it. Montero showing very good power the other way, and that was a big part of his game last year. He hit 7 opposite field home runs last season.
Yeah, that was catchable for sure.
Yeah, he just took a bad route, then I don't think he saw it really well.
All right, over under on Addison Russell home runs.
What did he have, 13 last year?
Sounds right. Yep.
How many ABs did he have?
I'll tell you in a second.
I'm going to say
he had 523 plate appearances, 13 home runs. So at 100 plate appearances.
Yeah. I'm going to go 18, 20. So let's make the over-under at 19.
Okay. I might take the over.
I know. Well, we're going to Vegas here tomorrow. Maybe that'll be maybe you can make a prop bet on Addison Russell's home run total.
All right, since we're in the mood, who leads the team in home runs this year? Not as easy as it sounds.
That's a good one. That is a good one.
I'm going to go Chris Bryant.
That's kind of where I'm leaning.
That'd be fun if it got out, wouldn't it?
Sure.
Gone. Thank you, Addison.
I'm taking the over.
Second homer of the day for the Cubs, and they lead 3-1.
Schwarber started the game with one. Addison Russell just hit number 5 for the spring. He had a couple very early on, then quiet for a while. Lately, he's been finding the berm.
Nothing better than when a plan comes together.
Yeah, nice crack of the bat there. I made a big noise. I'm going to put that in your nacho helmet.
Strike on Matt Caesar.
Yeah, Addison Russell. He's a quiet kid, but you talk about self-confidence, and he's way more at ease this go around than he was last year, his first year in the big leagues.
Great bunt by Caesar. It's a hit.
He's Roberto Flack today. Killing him softly. A little blue pop-up double to center. Now a bunt single.
You got to save some of these for the regular season.
Chapman was back a little bit. Caesar recognized it. Took advantage.
I'm sure there's an A's fan or two out there after the Russell homer going, oh, man, thanks for reminding us. Caesar takes off. And he's in.
Yeah, well, Billy Beane said as much right after the trade. When we saw him the following spring in Vegas, and he said Addison Russell is going to be a great player. Because, you know, it's one of those deals. You know you're giving up a big-time prospect, but as we mentioned earlier, you're in go-for-it mode. You swallow hard, do the deal, hope for the best.
Yep. When the A's did that deal, I think that it garnered a lot of praise that a team with limited resources would make a go-for-it type deal. They then were criticized after they lost in the wild card for making that deal, and it is just a roll of the dice when you do it, but it is an example of why I think there are fewer of those types of deals than there used to be. Because young prospects like Addison Russell are more highly coveted than ever. I think part of it is that we feel like we know more about kids who are 19, 20, 21 at the minor league level and how they will project than maybe we did 20, 30 years ago.
Yeah, they have a better idea about prospects and what they, are likely to become.
In other words, there are no secrets. It feels like every big prospect, everybody around baseball knows, whereas, before the internet, all this stuff, the amount of scouting that goes on, you might have been able to more easily talk your way into, hey, this kid's really, I hate to give him up, and then a big bust. I don't know if these days there's any talking that's necessary in terms of how you feel about your guy. Other organizations know everything about your prospects. As Arrieta strikes out. Well, here's how good Sonny Gray has been. On par with Felix Hernandez, even though not nearly as many innings.
What's Gray, 2+ years of service time? So it's a while before he becomes a free agent. Well, I even think, and you'd have to talk to some front office types, guys that have been in the game a long time, just internally too, about evaluating players within your own organization, how much that has changed over the years, because it used to be that you would dream on certain skill sets, certain tools. A guy was a big, strong athlete with a big arm, and you project him to be a star in the big leagues. Now I think that it's a little more sophisticated, just on specific baseball skill sets, and they're able to maybe poke some holes in that guy that looks like a real good player when he's young, but say, you know what, there's reason to believe this player might not pan out. So, while his value is high because of his athleticism and how people may project him, let's go ahead and kind of push him into that deal. And maybe you hang on maybe a little bit longer to the bad body guy who is going to walk 100 times and, be that OPS presence who maybe isn't quite as gifted an athlete.
Well, the famous or infamous, depending on your perspective, line from Moneyball, right, was, what are we doing, selling jeans? Billy Beane line to scouts about that very topic. I mean, I'm sure Kyle Schwarber dealt with a little of that, being scouted in college, right?
Yeah. Well, and I think Kyle Schwarber suffers a little bit from that now. I think because of a couple misplays in the postseason last year, and because he does have more of that, bulky body, people don't respect his athletic ability.
Correct.
Don't appreciate how well he moves. I mean, there are cliches and there are stereotypes about players in the game that I think they exist for a reason, because we've been playing this game for a long time, and sometimes, a shortstop looks like a shortstop and a third baseman looks like a third baseman, but that doesn't necessarily mean that there aren't guys that break the mold. You hear it all the time. He can't play second base. Why not? Well, look at him. Well, let's watch him play, or whatever position we're talking about.
Stuff's been good from Sonny Gray.
Topped out at 94. And again, this may be a little bit of a hot gun here today. Last year, his average fastball, though, was 93, so he's got plus stuff.
Coughlin will get his ex-teammate. And the inning is over. Addison Russell, a couple years ago, thought he might be doing this for the team in green, but today it's against those guys. 3-1.
We try to stay directly within the Fields Auto Group. Fields has a wonderful reputation.
Hello, I'm Dan Fields of the Fields Auto Group. We simply treat people the way we want to be treated.
They're as invested in me as a person as I am in them, and that makes a huge difference. It makes me come back.
It includes our free loaners, free car washes, and cafes. It's all part of the Fields Matters program.
I felt confident in buying because of the service and the fact that this dealership would stand behind it.
Fields Matters because you matter.
I don't wait for anything. I get what I want when I want it. No exceptions. Steak. That's why I use the Faster mobile app from Fifth Third Bank. That lets me check my balance without logging in. Fish.
We were curious. Could we take the weight out of banking? Now get $200 when you open a Fifth Third Essential Checking account with qualifying activities. Fifth Third Bank, the curious bank.
From the first building block to the last coat of paint, Menards is here to help you build all of your projects with an 11% rebate on everything. Add style and save energy with Hunter ceiling fans. Get this 52-inch Fremont ceiling fan available in a premier bronze or brushed nickel finish for just $75.64 after 11% rebate. Stop in for an 11% rebate on everything. Now at Menards.
Save big money at Menards.
Thursday, big league ball in Las Vegas. The Cubs prepare for the season opener with an exhibition against the Mets. That's Thursday at 7 Central on CSN Chicago. It's brought to you by Canals Auto Park. We will be flying there tomorrow after the game here against the Rockies. Last year, I actually drove from Phoenix to Las Vegas, and that was a beautiful drive. Chris Negron is in for Anthony Rizzo. Remember that little minor collision at first on a pickoff attempt, and hopefully he's all right.
Yeah, you can't make the omelet without the cheese or the eggs.
But now is he the cheese or the eggs?
It's the eggs.
Okay.
He's had cheese on my brain.
You can have a cheeseless omelet. You could probably have an eggless omelet. I'm not versed on the actual definition, but.
Well, you'd have to have an egg substitute.
Right.
Still would need something to do the job of the egg. So how was there's a good drive? How long was the drive from here to Vegas?
It was, I recall, about 5 hours. It really gets beautiful when you get near the dam and Lake Mead. Caught by Matt Caesar. The guy in the red cap right there is Mick Gillespie, and I wanted to thank Mick and Joey Liberatore. You probably can't see Joey very well. There's Mick. I don't know if we can get him to wave at us. Doing the webcast today on Cubs.com and the non-TV games. I work with Mick and Joey, and they've been both hugely helpful to me and do a great job. And Mick will be coming to Vegas to do the webcasts too. Fine radio voice of the Tennessee Smokies. One and one on Olsen. At some point he's got to play for Minnesota, right?
Ollie Olsen's passed through Minnesota. Ollie Olsen.
Well, I was thinking of the Twins.
The Olsen twins. I got you.
Oh,
well, they had Greg Olsen there, right?
Sounds right.
He struck out looking last time. Probably could have been called a strike.
Yeah.
He was trying to throw a backdoor slider that time. Pulled it a little bit. It looked like it stayed on the plate.
So this will likely be the final inning for Jake. 94 pitches and counting.
He's allowed just the one run. The A's have battled him, though. He's thrown a lot of pitches.
Called strike three.
This time it's borderline outside corner with a heater. Olsen thought it was off the plate. Good enough for Dana DeMuth.
Billy Burns, that's a perfect surname for him, right? Guy tries to hit the ball on the ground and run really fast.
Years ago in Oakland under Billy Martin, it was Billy Ball. high-energy style of play. A lot of bunting. Billy Martin loved the suicide squeeze. That starting rotation that he ran out there, inning after inning.
I think the A's, since they moved to Oakland, one of the more interesting franchises around. All the success they had in the early to mid 70s. You had eccentric owner Charlie Finley. And had very specific ideas about the uniforms. They, to this day, wear the white shoes. They've been trying to get out of their ballpark probably since the day they moved in. And they're still at the Coliseum. O.co, it's called. Got a very vociferous fan base. Not very big, but the fans who show up, they really get into it. Two on Burns. These two franchises matched up in a couple of different World Series. Philadelphia A's beat the Cubs 1910 and 1929. Chris Bosio looks on from his normal spot just outside the Cubs dugout. That'll change on Monday. They'll all be in the dugout for the regular season. Zobrist to Negron, and a 1-2-3, and probably the final pitch Jake Arrieta has thrown before opening night. He leaves with a 3-1 lead.
Spring Training Baseball on Comcast Sportsnet is brought to you in part by State Farm. Find an agent at statefarm.com.
Hello, beautiful. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Hi, Anthony. How much did my discount double check save me?
About $150.
Done.
I don't have State Farm, but insurance, find me money.
I got you $1. Oh, you almost had it. You gotta be quicker than that.
Having insurance isn't the same as having State Farm. There to help you with unexpected savings. That's getting to a better state.
During the Lexus Command Performance Sales Event,
Turnaround jumper.
There's always cause for celebration.
Are you kidding me?
With extraordinary offers on the exhilarating IS, the thrilling GS, and the powerful RC Coupe.
The buzzer.
Because thrills like this only happen during the Command Performance Sales Event. Lease the 2016 IS 300 all-wheel drive for $339 a month for 36 months, and we'll make your first month's payment. See your Lexus dealer.
Blackie.
Having fun here at the ballpark. Cool day today here in Arizona, relatively speaking. We're in the mid-60s. Cubs lead 3-1. Jake Arrieta, if he feels good, he looked good.
Yeah, mission accomplished. We mentioned that the A's made him work. He threw a lot of pitches, over 100 pitches at 5 innings of work, but that was the goal today, just to push that pitch count up there. He's showing Davey Martinez that the thumb. There were no indications during his outing that thumb was bothering him at all, and it maybe just what he was showing Martinez there where the blister had been, and it's starting to callous over perhaps. He's paying a little attention to it.
By the way, Anthony Rizzo's fine. He was just going to get his 2 ABs. Two strikes on Jason Hayward.
Well, that's good news.
Yep. Evans back now in for the out. Well, continuing the home run theme.
Yeah.
Jason Hayward. Over-under. That may even be a tougher over-under to come up with than Addison Russell, even though he's had a longer career.
Yes. Yeah, I
because
would
he's
agree.
had such a wide spread between, what was it, 27 his career high?
Yeah, 27, and that was, what, his second year in the league?
Yeah. Would 20 be too ambitious?
No. It's
for an over-under. I mean, we're going to try to get right in the pocket there. I mean, I guess if you base it on the last few years, you'd say 15, but I'm going to go.
I think a lot of it just depends on what, he seems to me to be the kind of guy that if you decided he wanted to try to hit the ball out of the ballpark a little bit more, maybe sacrifice, not walk as much, but become a little bit more aggressive, then you could count on that home run total going up. But I imagine in his mind there's no reason to change the approach because it's really good. I mean, he hits a lot of doubles, he hits for average, he draws walks. And it's not like he has to be that kind of a hitter in this lineup. There's plenty of sock in this lineup. So unless he and John Maley were to, start, if he were to go to John and say, you know what, I think I want to try to lift the ball a little bit more. Maybe we can make some tweaks to the swing. Maybe you could see a significant spike, but I don't see that happening. I mean, why would you mess with success at this stage of the game?
Right. I think the general thought internally is two parts. They don't want him to feel like he has to hit home runs. They don't feel like they need him to. But everybody thinks there's more power in there, so it just might naturally increase.
Right. Well, sometimes it takes a lot of big league at bats before a guy finds that power stroke.
Zobrist flies to Lambeau.
And the other part of it is, like we said, it may be a matter of a guy making an adjustment, changing the swing a little bit to try to lift the ball more. I'm looking at his numbers now. 2010 was his rookie year. He had 18 home runs, 623 plate appearances. His best year was his third full year in the league, 27 home runs, 651 plate appearances that year. And then the last 3 years, 14, 11, and 13. In 2013, well, I'm giving you a lot of numbers here. In the 13 season, he hit 14 home runs, but he only played in 104 ball games.
Right. So a good over-under for him might be more like 16, 17?
Depends on what's the wind going to do at Wrigley this year.
Yeah. It's going to blow in more than people think. That's usually what happens. Cubs go down quietly, leading 3-1.
Saturday, the men in red return to the pitch for a must-see match with Philadelphia Union as both clubs try to emerge as early playoff contenders in the East. Fire versus Philadelphia Union, starting at 3:30 on CSN. Spanish language broadcast available on CSN+.
Here's a tip. It's worth the trip to emetroford.com. See for yourself how affordable your new Ford will be at emetroford.com. See why Metro Fords are everywhere.
Metro Fords are everywhere.
Visit emetroford.com today.
The experts at Binny's Beverage Depot can read my mind. They can even read my signs. You can't find it at Binny's? It's probably not worth.
Now playing on DirecTV Cinema.
My dear Miss Everdeen, the game is coming to its end.
If you kill him, Katniss, our lives, they mean something.
Got one shot.
Let's make it count.
Movies start at Channel 125.
This message is for all Americans that owe $10,000 or more in back taxes to the IRS.
Call the number on your screen now and we will contact the IRS on your behalf, help you end wage garnishments, stop collection calls, remove tax liens, get rid of IRS and state tax penalties, and reduce the amount you owe if you qualify.
Let us take the stress of back taxes and the IRS off your shoulders so you can spend time on the important things in your life.
like your family or your business. If you owe more than $10,000 in back taxes, call now and find out how we can help you.
Hey, welcome back, everybody. Cubs lead the A's 3-1. It's the top of the 6th. Don't miss your chance to catch the best matchups in baseball. Join the season ticket holder waiting list. It's easy. It's free to register. For details, visit Cubs.com/waiting list.
Here's Travis Wood, 5 innings for Jake Arrieta in his final spring training start.
And Jake allowed just the 2 hits and a run. A couple of walks, 5 punch outs.
It's Jacob Hanneman now in center. Uni Kawasaki is at second. David Ross is catching.
Talked about Semien earlier and his defensive struggles. 35 errors last year to lead Major League Baseball. He had a nice year of the bat. He had 15 home runs. $15 long balls, good enough for a tie for third place among American League shortstops.
A's are always pretty heavily studied by the sabermetric community. And a couple of years ago, they really stressed platoons, and not just right left, but they try to get fly ball hitters, right? Swing and a miss, strike 3. And I don't want to obviously speak for Billy Beane. We don't talk to him that often. See him maybe once every spring training, but I think he would tell you that a lot of the stuff that some people would say, well, you know, they think they're smarter than everybody. I think he would tell you we have to do this. If he had an extra $60 million to spend, he'd much rather not platoon, but it's kind of out of necessity.
And I think you just it's partially out of necessity, but we've seen it. Joe Madden, even with this really talented club, he loves the platoons. Just having that, the matchups tilted in your favor, whether it's left, right. Some guys are better against power arms than others. Some guys handle finesse stuff.
Coughlin gets a hold of one. And that has to feel good for him against his former team. Chris Coughlin with a home run to make it 3-2.
Chris had a very nice year with the bat. What, he hit 16 home runs last year? This is against the left-hander. He stays right in there, takes that low ball and rides it out of here. Well, there you go, fly ball. The ability to get that low ball in the air. When pitchers are constantly told pound the bottom of the strike zone, if you get guys that can elevate that pitch, they can do some damage.
That's past a diving LaStella on a broken bat. Butler on for the 3rd time. On his way to second, he's in. He is not going to win many foot races unless they bring Paul Konerko out of retirement, but it's his second double.
Benji Molina. Yeah, he can hit though. Double, walk, double so far today. First double was in the alley in right center. This time he pulls it down the third baseline.
Butler will head back to second as Russell throws out Canna.
Not a big key to one of the Giants World Series winning teams. They led baseball in the platoon advantage at bats.
That has become a big thing for a lot of clubs. Schwarber makes a catch, and that will end the inning. Chris Coughlin with a home run, and the A's are within one.
Spring Training Baseball on Comcast Sportsnet is presented by Canals Auto Park, Route 41, Lake Bluff.
As you and your car become one, and your Canals BMW driving experience begins. We live and breathe BMW, promising you a BMW selection, competitive pricing, and a shopping experience second to none. And it's a total gas, even when it's electric. Welcome to Canals BMW. Your test drive is departing shortly. Route 41, Lake Bluff. CanalsBMW.com.
The legends of tennis are coming to Chicago with the Power Share Series. Andre Agassi, John McEnroe, Jim Courier, and James Blake compete in a unique one-night tournament April 8th at UIC Pavilion. Timeless tennis mastery on full display with a twist. On the Power Share Series, with the help of modern technology, these legends call their own lines. For tickets and VIP experiences, go to PowerShareSeries.com and be part of the excitement April 8th at UIC Pavilion.
And the #1 window and door company in America is
Feldco.
To celebrate this amazing achievement, Feldco is offering 2 windows for the price of 1, with no money down and no interest for 1 year.
On behalf of the entire Feldco team, thank you. And remember, 2 windows for the price of 1 ends soon. So hurry, call now.
For quality windows, siding, and doors, call 866 for Feldco.
Tonight, the Blackhawks head up to the home of Prince, the replacements, and Lester Nygaard. Minnesota. They'll try to make it 3 in a row. Coverage starts at 6:30 with Chevy Blackhawks pregame live on CSN Chicago.
Don't forget Mary Richards. Mark Eichart for the A's now. Former Cardinal. Former Blue Jay. Jabczynski 1-0 with a 4.05 this spring.
Ball 1 on La Stella.
So we were talking about Billy Beane, Moneyball, analytics. Do you know Chris Moore with the Cubs? Director of Research and Development.
I've met him.
I don't believe I know Chris. But we need to have a chat with him, see the way his mind works. I was flipping through the media guide here earlier, and I was reading about him, and this paragraph here will give you some sense of how the game has changed. Chris joined the Cubs from WorldQuant LLC, where he spent 3 years as a portfolio manager building algorithmic trading strategies. There's more. I'm going to wait for this line drive single to fill you in. Prior to joining WorldQuant, spent 5 years earning a PhD in psychology and neuroscience at Princeton University. He focused on computational methods and machine learning, which he applied to both baseball and brain science. There's a lot of smart people in the game. I don't even know what machine learning is. I don't know what that refers to.
Swing and a miss by La Stella. Check out the big brain on Brad.
I was playing summer ball when I was in college in the Shenandoah Valley League, and I had a job working at this prep school, and we had this guy, Bobby Moubre was his name, and he taught me how to do laundry for the kids. He said, you take the clothes out of that sheen and you put them in this sheen, and then when you're out of this sheen here, you put them in this basket. So, thank you, Mr. Mowbray. That was my machine learning.
David Ross. Ball one. Guessing what Chris learned was a little bit more
a little
involved.
more advanced.
Well, I think a lot of it for Joe is with the analytics department. Here's what I'm thinking lineup wise, or here's my thought. Run it through your simulations and just make sure I'm not crazy, or is there a better way to do it? Booted by Chapman, so Ross is on.
Ross is down there saying speed kills.